Well, President Donald Trump has continued his scathing attacks on Somalia as the fraud scandal deepens in the state of Minnesota. The administration is cracking down on immigration and targeting the state's large Somali community. Have a listen to what Donald Trump thinks of Somalia.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
So, Stephanie, the president did not mince his words there. What's your take on what's happening with Minnesota and the criticism, I guess, of Somali in particular, but immigration from other places as well?
Well, what we just saw was classic President Donald Trump. He has no filter. He says what's on his mind. And as a voter, I honestly support people speaking their mind versus them saying something and doing something different. So that is one of the greatest things about Donald Trump is you know exactly where he stands and where he's going to go. This is looking to be one of the biggest welfare fraud schemes in U.S. history. We're not just talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. It looks like the number is going up to $1 billion. This is totally absurd. And this is something that has really frustrated Americans for so many years. And the reason we're so frustrated is because, you know, we're told that people are coming into this country and that they're coming here to work and to pursue the American dream, that they're going to assimilate, that they're going to love this country. And then we're finding out, for example, this case in Minnesota is that a lot of these people that are coming in are actually not only taking from the system, not just taking taxpayer dollars, but they're actually committing fraud and crimes at an astounding level. And, you know, this is such a huge story. I mean, there's so many layers to this. It's, you know, not just the American Somalis who are involved. You have to look at the higher ups, the Democratic Party, who runs the state there. And you have to wonder why so many red flags were ignored, why there was so much incompetence, how this could go on at this level for so many years. So you have to wonder if people were benefiting off of this other than the people who were just committing the fraud and crimes.
And Stephanie, just briefly, without going too much into the detail, just how was the fraud being committed? Where has that $1 billion, some people are saying up to $2 billion, actually gone, and how did it leave America?
Yeah, so it looks like there were several different programs that they were using, like nonprofits, if you will. For example, one of them was called the Feeding Our Futures program. And this program was supposed to feed hungry kids. And apparently no food was given to any hungry kids. In fact, it was just all a scam. And this money was going into the pockets of some American Somalis. And what's even worse is that we're finding out a lot of this money just left the US entirely and went to other countries, which has people concerned about national security. Where exactly did this money go? Why did it go to other countries? Was it used to fund terrorism? So again, there's just so much more that we need to find out. But again, Donald Trump is using this as an example that these people came to this country. They were allowed to come to the best country in the world, if I could say, and they're taking advantage of the American taxpayer. And it's just totally egregious.
Obviously, Stephanie, you meant the second best country in the world after Australia, but I forgive you for that little slip of the tongue. Now, speaking of immigration, Trump clearly wants to get some of that money back, and the US president has launched this extraordinary Trump Gold Card, offering immigrants a fast-tracked pathway with a fee, wait for it, of $1 million. The official Trump Card website states for a $15,000 DHS processing fee and after background approval, a contribution of $1 million, you'll receive residency in record time, US residency in record time with the Trump Gold Card. Well, that's trolling big time, isn't it? But is it for real?
It looks like it is. And the question is, you know, is this going to benefit Americans who are already here? There are a lot of people critiquing from both sides saying, oh, you know, now Americans are going to have to compete with immigrants for jobs. But some of us, like me, I think this is actually a great idea because, number one, it would be people coming here legally and going through the system. But number two, these are high value immigrants who want to contribute to this country, who will also create jobs if they're you know, coming here to bring business. And so these are hopefully, you know, the best of the best other countries have to offer. And there's going to be a system in place. There's also some fake outrage over what's going on. We already had this very similar program. It was the EB-5 investor visa, and the money for that was pretty close to this Trump gold card. So, people on the left, they're never honest. They are going after Trump for this, saying that, he just wants to harm poor immigrants. And what about the spirit of America and letting people come here and, live the American dream and so on. But, they're being very dishonest because they never had an issue with that program before. So basically, this just strengthens the program that was already in place.
And Stephanie, Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, is alive and well on those lefty late-night talk shows. David Letterman has crowned lefty TV host Jimmy Kimmel the leader of the resistance against Donald Trump. Have a listen.
People are aware of the fact that you are the leader of the resistance. If the leader of the free world is a fool, the leader of the free world then should expect and examine every bit of ridicule he receives.
Stephanie, full-blown TDS, what do you make of it?
That segment was incredibly painful, Rowan. I'm sad that you didn't give your audience a warning before throwing to that clip. It makes me wonder what happened to comedy. I mean, comedy's been dying for a long time, but this is just a few more nails for the coffin, if you will. Jimmy Kimmel hasn't been funny for so many years. I think it happened around 2015, 2016, when he realized that Donald Trump was a real candidate for president. And then after he won the presidency, it broke his brain, and he hasn't been funny since. It's just unfortunate because comedy is, I would argue, important for just regular people who are looking for a break from politics and a break from work. It's an escape. And unfortunately, people don't have that anymore because it's gotten so political. And for Letterman to crown him with the resistance crown, that's not really a great award. He should actually be embarrassed for himself. He should focus on comedy.
Well, you're absolutely right, Stephanie, that comedy is not only absent from the left, but it's also the great weapon that the right has against the left, as Donald Trump knows only too well. Stephanie, always great to chat to you. Thanks again. And you have a really Merry Christmas. We'll see you again in the new year. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.